Greetings, I'm Chloe Neville of Chloe's Nook. I believe I have my web channel as my name, right? So just Chloe Neville. I'm participating in the 31 Days of Tarot that Anthony put as a challenge here on YouTube, and I'm doing day 8, most worked deck in 2000 or decks in 2016. If we're talking tarot, very simply, it's the Mystical Cats was the one I used most for tarot. Sometimes I don't even bring tarots, but I brought one to study 1 or 2 events, and then the rest I didn't really because I got them a little later in the year, and then I was in a mix of moving. And then, like I mentioned before, a couple had one had a rumpled card, another had like a missing card. So I'd stuck with my Mystical Cats Tarot, and I don't regret it because it reads really well. It's friendly for lots of different ages. The setup is awesome. There's only a little small title bar and a cool little copper or bronzy effect title area. And yeah, just this is the Empress. I love it. And again, I love this deck because it has cats in their natural forms without, clothing or putting them in humanoid position with human bodies with cat heads and fur. And I know there's some other cat deck that came out in the last year or so, or maybe it's coming out. I saw some pictures of it of eclectic tarot, and I was not. It was pretty, but again, the humanoid cat bodies with clothes just bothers me. Although I would say the artwork looked awesome. But anyways, so yeah, this is the Ace of Fire, and that's the thing. I love that the fire cards have fire in them. I love that it's the sky suit for sky. The earth, it's earth for the earth suit, not just say the symbols that you get in the other decks. And let's see. So the sea has depictions of, say, the bay or rivers or out by the sea with moving, flowing water. And yeah, so it's like a couple cats laying down by a seal. So pretty. I just love these, and I love that it's all natural and how you might, I don't know why cats would be laying down by a seal, but I could see that more readily happening than some cat driving a car or a chariot or some other weird depiction like that. Yeah, 10 by the sea, so like a family relaxing on vacation, just chilling. Love it. Okay. So, okay, and then the court cards are kittens for pages. Here's the kittens of sea, kittens of, and that's again sky, and then say here's the 5 of fire, and again there's fire in there, so there's not as much of which symbol is this and what does it mean. There's, how they sometimes switch swords and wands to mean either fire or air depending on the deck, and there's none of that having to figure that out here. It's just, it is what it is. So instead of the magician, you have a cat magic card, and there's some other cards like that, like the devil card is the demon cat. And oh, I love this card. I've always thought about the idea of like I mentioned before, a feline mermaid, and it was kind of neat to see it in this deck. And then the knights are the toms. It's called the Earth Tom, carrying a kitten over to safety or over some cliffs and different steep places. I really Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I have to record later in the day. I really like the Tower card. So again, mostly for me, it's a combination of really enjoying the artwork, the setup of the deck, and the titles. Not having to guess at what each suit is, and then remember that, you know, swords air, wands fire, because in some decks wands are air and swords are fire. So it's just fire. It's just the sea. It's just the sky, and then earth, and so forth. The Major Arcana again has a few decks. Here's an ace, and all the aces have a paw in either some kind of symbol, like the trunk of the tree and so forth. And the 10 of sky really depicts that desperate situation. That, you know, I really like this one. World is just the world. Details. Okay, so yeah, this was the big Major Tarot deck. We're saying Tarot, what I used for 2016. But what I use all the time, no matter what event, at home, for myself, whatever, I have a whole travel kit that is with this one and includes a little pocket for business cards. It's my Druid Animal Oracle. The artist is Will Worthington, and I always butcher his name, but it's the Chief Order of the Druid Chief of the OBOD. Helped create this deck basically, and there was one other person involved, Will Worthington, the OBOD guy, and someone else. This is my go-to deck. I read almost anything with it, and what I've been doing is I've been combining my Druid Animal Oracle. And I have trimmed it, and I have to edge it, which I will. I just haven't been able to make up my mind if I'm going to do the silver or try to match one of the colors in the border that's here. Yeah, that's my hesitation on that. This is my third edition, of a third copy, I should say, of this deck. And I'm glad they now come out with just a small kit instead of one with a big book, because I now have 2 books, and the last one I got was one without a book. So yeah, so I usually combine this one now with the Celtic Lenormand for clarification when it comes to, say, business readings, money matters, and stuff like that. This deck I find reads really well for spiritual, moving the family, those kind of things, relationship, lots of different kinds of things. And I have been able to do business readings on this, but I find that hooking in Lenormand for some of the practical advice and some other stuff you can get from this really, and the artwork combined is just lovely. So yeah, so that's kind of how I do that now. And as I said, I'm still perfecting my Lenormand skills, so it is rather intuitive for me, and I kind of treat it as an oracle as well. So those are my 3 top ones. And then the decks I used more than usual of my oracles are the Halloween Oracle, which I already showed. And again, you know it, you've seen it. I did some Halloween in July booth event, and that led to a couple extra parties, so I ended up using it more, and then I had a few reading requests. So yeah, so that's happened there. And while I was at our intuitive groups meetup that month, they were like in Halloween, and then the Halloween psychic fairs and drives that I did, this was a very popular deck, as well as my Shadow and Light. So I have some seasonal decks. I won't go into all those, but Shadow of Night was a popular one as well. I didn't use it as much as the Halloween Oracle, but as if I was to say, I might do seasonal deck video to explain that, because I tend to rotate out some of my oracles, and then I always have my Druid Animal deck. It's just a given. So another one I use often, if not all the time, is the Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle from Lucy Cavendish, and I use a lot of Lucy Cavendish's decks. They're very appealing to the young people I do at all my booth events and psychic fairs. Oops, sorry, where I'm sitting is kind of awkward. I hope to have my reading space set up at some point soon. We're doing a major haul on our storage area to be able so I can set up a reading area. And if you haven't seen this for a while, beautiful artwork from Selena Finch. I love Lucy Cavendish's stuff because even though it's fae or mermaid or shapeshifter or whatever, it's not as light and affirmation-y as Doreen Virtue. And don't get me wrong, I do have some Doreen Virtue, but I don't pull it out as much. And this is like my most favorite card in the deck because, oh, you know what? Now that I think of it, pulling it out now, I didn't have this box available a few days ago when I was doing the other day that talked about oracles. But and then we were talking about like what card stalks you. This card actually comes up for me often, and I think it's because I have to remember that I tend to go at a different pace than a lot of other people. And that's what this is called, the snail's pace. Slow down, grounding, listen for the heartbeat of the earth and subtle energies. So this one actually comes up for me a lot, not just this year, but like all the time. So, and then oh, and the last one I'm going to pull out, there's actually a couple other decks, but I just don't have them unpacked yet. Oh, so the Shapeshifter Oracle by Lucy Cavendish, and then in the summer months, spring, and if by request, I do the mermaids. So I pull a lot of Lucy Cavendish out, but it's not the only kind of oracles I can read. So yeah, it's just they're very popular with some of the younger crowd, and then my Druid Animal Oracle is my workhorse and the one I use all the time more than any other. So yeah, those are my decks that I used the most in 2016. So I hope, if you haven't seen it before, I hope you consider getting the Mystical Cats, because it's a really awesome deck, and how it's set up is pretty on course for regular tarot. And I'm realizing more and more that I need to go back and refresh and stuff, but the more I use these, and again, I bring them, I use it, but a lot of the time I'm getting so much intuitive hits that it isn't really based off of the tarot system that I'm reading the deck, but I do love them and they're awesome. So yeah, I'll end it there and I will get on to the next video or day. So have a great evening.